it wasn't this great revelation I had on a hilltop somewhere, but it was in adoration and in Mass, how one day at a time my heart changed. The story in which I'm about to tell is not merely the story of how Austin Artz one day decided to enter seminary, but rather it is more so how God interacted with me in my life and transfigured my heart into desiring to go to seminary. The foundations of the story lay back to my early childhood. It was this time of my life was nothing but warmth and love. My parents play a very large role in my life. The focus of their marriage was always obviously my brothers and myself. I'm the oldest of three boys. My younger brothers are Eric and Nathan. They're twins. The day they were born was perhaps the happiest day of my life. Growing up, we had a story every night from Mom and Dad, and they never, ever failed to get us to Mass on week's end. Growing up from these foundations, the church and its logics and its teachings were embedded in my head. They played a role in my life, but they had not penetrated my heart yet at the time I entered high school. While I was in high school, my younger brother Nathan was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer called rhabdomyosarcoma. He struggled very, very much with this, but his faith and the faith of my brothers were always very amazing. And his suffering was quite transformative for anyone who came in touch with him. And he did not suffer alone, but he suffered with God, and with his favorite devotions were the Rosary and the Divine Mercy image. Just being around him really rubbed off on me. Then I entered college. So I graduated, and he was still fighting with it. And my heart had already begun to churn, and I began going to my Newman Center, and met many great friends there. And there were great mentors in Father Jason Leffer and Father Luke Meyer, who took his spot after my freshman year. It was in my freshman year that Nathan passed away of his cancer. And this was a very deep blow to my family. Our pastor, Father Fred Harvey, was always there for us. And the suffering never really goes away. But it's amazing how something as terrible as that, through God's work, can become a gift. It was also around this time, when Nathan died, that I started hearing the thoughts in my head, go to seminary, especially during Mass and adoration, which are very, very important. These thoughts continued, and then in April of 2016, I was in Mass again serving, and I just felt deeply in my heart, Austin, I want you to go to seminary. And then it just became my plan, and then it just continued to grow in my heart. It became my desire. In October and the fall of 2016, I began to apply for law school. And there's just something not right. And I kept thinking, what if I never ever go to seminary? And then in October, I made it my decision to go. And from then on, my heart was filled with great joy from that decision. Continuingly, my brother, after that year of school, he entered into seminary. And so we had much to talk about and much in common. Since this time, I've also noticed that my heart has gone through another transformation. It's gone from a boy's heart to a father's heart, or it's in the process of becoming into a father's heart. And that's one of the most beautiful things that's ever happened to me. I'm greatly fulfilled by this change. I then, in last August of 2017, I just asked Father Waltz for my application, and I just took one day at a time. And it always amazes me how it wasn't this great revelation I had on a hilltop somewhere, but it was in adoration and in Mass, how one day at a time my heart changed just a little bit. And then what God desired became my desire. And his desires give me great peace. And after today, I don't know what's going to happen. That's why I'm going to go to discern, but I know I must discern.